Hi everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove, and thanks for joining me today. I wanted to show you a quick video on how to use your pressed flowers with the varnish technique. So I had posted a video about a week ago on how to use varnish to adhere your pressed flowers to paper without having to use a tissue paper on top. So I wanted to show you a fun way to use them with labels to make it so that you can just peel off these labels and use them in your junk journal whenever you want them. So I have a few different specimens of pressed flowers from my garden. And what I like is to add these little pressed flower specimens into my gardening journal. It just adds another little touch, and sometimes you grow things one year and they don't come back the next year, or you get a surprise in the spring and something has grown that you didn't plant. And I just love to capture that little detail in my journals. So today we're going to be using the clear top coat again, which is the Fusion Mineral Paint. This is what I used in the previous video. It's a non-yellowing varnish basically. So we are going to glue the specimens to our little roll of labels. So these are just peel and stick labels. I got a whack load of them at a secondhand shop, and they're like a 3-page thing that you used to feed in one of those old style printers. So what I did is I coffee dyed them, but I clearly didn't coffee dye them dark enough. I like them darker. So what I'm going to add is a little bit of ink to this, and I'll walk you through the process, and I'll show you how I've used them in my journal. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this vintage photo distress oxide ink and my little rubbery thing here. Just rub it on, and in this case I'm really just going to dirty up my labels. And what's nice about this varnish technique is you can really go over top with any kind of decoration on top once the varnish has dried, which is nice as well. So try and get some of the edges here. I like that vintage look myself. And I think, hopefully I don't cast too much of a shadow with my hands. I just have the one source of light right now. So I have just a dollar store brush that I use. I'll put the lid back on my ink. And I just stick some varnish down and I paint the entire label. And you see the varnish enhances the ink a little bit, gets a little bit darker. So let's start with these three. So I've put my varnish down, and you got to work relatively quickly with this varnish. And you can use any varnish. You just want to make sure you don't use a spray varnish because it's not thick enough. You want something you can paint. You also want to work with plants that are relatively thin. So this is a bit of an experiment. These ones, they're either going to work or they're not going to work. But the thinner the press on the flower, the better you'll have more range of flexibility, because you do need these to be a little bit flexible when you peel them off. You don't want to do all that and then have them not fold and bend when you take them off and have the flower break. So you can see I'm kind of rough. So I'm just going to put that guy back up where he belongs, and we'll continue. Hopefully I'm in frame here. So we'll do another one. And I just, again, these are all just little ferns and things I've pulled out of my garden. Some buttercups that I've pulled out of the ditch. Here's the buttercups. These press really, really nicely. Really love the buttercups. They really say summertime to me too. I don't know if it's the bright yellow or what, but I just love them. So I press a lot of these. I'm just going to put a little varnish over top before it dries. So you'll notice your paper might start to roll just because the paper's getting wet. I'm just going to bend it a little back. Oh, this guy broke now. So like I said, some will work if the stalks are thick. Like this stalk might be a little too thick for this project. It's kind of fun to try different ones and see what works and what doesn't. Okay, we'll go over here and do this guy. This little one. Push that down. So this video won't be too long. I just wanted to show you another way that you can use this technique and create some ephemera that's really quick and easy that you can store and use anytime. I'm just gonna put a little more on this one. And this guy's thick too. I don't know if he's gonna work, but I wanted to try it just for something different. And hopefully it works, but if it doesn't, that's all right. I'll know for next time. I just use my finger there, push it down. So while this is drying, and this varnish, like I said, dries quite quickly. And you might have to go over it again if something doesn't stick down well enough, like these stalks that are lifting. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for a minute and maybe put some weight on it just to see if I can help adhere it. Just bear in mind, whatever weights you put on these, it could stick. So nothing papery or anything like that. So working on my garden journal here, I'm just gonna see if I can slide this further back. Maybe zoom you out a little bit and get you in frame here. There we go. So flip over to the page that I did. So here's the page. Basically I decorated my page using some gold leaf, which is really fun. I was really playing with some metallics, some paper, and I used the varnish on this as well, just to varnish down and stick the paper down. But here's the labels right here, and they're really so easy to add. So here's the other side, and here's some labels that I've done. So I just wanted to show you how pliable they are. So whenever you want to decorate and add something, you can just peel it off. So let's peel one off. Let's do this pretty blue one. So we'll just peel it. You see how flexible it is? It doesn't break the dry flower, and the flower is adhered. And then you can add this to wherever you like. So we can go back into our journal, and for example, we can just add it to a page. And what's nice is it's already done for you. All the work is done, and then it's basically creating your own fancy sticker. So let's see if these guys have dried, or at least dry enough that I can show you whether or not they worked. I think for the most part they did. This one's raised up a bit, so I'd put some more weight on him. But even though they're not dry, they're still, you can still see that they are going to be flexible once they are dry. You gotta let them dry. You gotta have a little patience, which is one thing I've been trying to work on. I don't have a lot of patience. So I hope this idea inspired you. Just a quick jump on video today on how to create these really pretty labels. Again, using some pressed flowers from your garden and creating a stack of labels and ready to use ephemera. So there you go. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and notifications if you want to see more. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye.